After getting his blood drawn, the man noticed that his wound wasn't healing. The same thing was happening to his secretary's arm. Alarmed, he searched online and discovered that he might have been infected with a serious disease. But he had only been intimate with his wife, and once with the secretary. The worst part was that the secretary had sworn that it was her first time that night. That made him doubt everything. He didn't know whether his wife had infected him, or if the secretary had lied to him. He didn't know that a month earlier, his wife had already found out that the secretary was HIV positive and had been planning to tell her husband. But when she arrived at the office, she heard intimate sound behind the door. When she opened it, she saw her husband with the secretary, his shirt stained with lipstick. She said nothing about the virus. She only reminded him that that night was their wedding anniversary and asked him to come home early. Then she turned around and left. The secretary, feeling superior, walked up to her proudly, bragged that the husband was crazy about her, and even spilled coffee on her. Without hesitation, the wife slapped her hard, twice, knocking her to the ground. The commotion caught the husband's attention. He glared angrily at his wife, then lifted the secretary up in front of everyone and left with her in his arms. The secretary felt victorious, while the wife was completely heartbroken. She called her lawyer and asked him to prepare the divorce papers. That night, the husband came home and tried to apologize, but just then the secretary called, crying. She said that someone had drugged her. He immediately got up to go help her, but his wife stopped him and asked him to sign a document before leaving. He signed without reading and ran out, not realizing he had just signed the divorce papers. At the bar, he found the secretary pretending to be weak. She told him that his wife was behind everything, that it had all been a scheme to keep them apart. He believed every word and hugged her to comfort her. Without noticing her fake smile, he took her to another room, and though he hesitated at first, thinking about everything that had happened, he eventually gave in. They spent the night together. The next day, he returned home furious and blamed his wife for ruining the secretary's life, not knowing that he was just one of many men the secretary had been with. The wife had already investigated and had proof that the secretary wasn't innocent, including photos of her entering and leaving hotels with him. She no longer wanted anything to do with her husband, but he thought she was acting suspiciously and had the nerve to ask why she had changed so much, without realizing he was the one who had changed. Then the secretary called again, sounding weak, and the husband immediately went into protective mode. Before leaving, he warned his wife not to mess with the secretary again, or she'd regret it. As soon as he left, the secretary texted the wife, mocking her. The woman didn't reply, not even when her husband spent an entire month showing off his new girlfriend everywhere. The wife remained silent until the reflection period for the divorce ended, and she finally received the divorce certificate. Her assistant then informed her that the next day, there would be an auction, and her ex-husband would be attending. They would be selling a new medicine that could control HIV. The woman understood that this was her chance to strike back. She decided to buy that medicine. The day of the auction arrived. The man appeared, holding the secretary's hand. The ex-wife looked calm and elegant. The man thought it was all an act, to get his attention, so he tried to provoke her. He spent millions on a bracelet for the secretary, thinking it would make his ex furious, but she remained completely indifferent. He insisted it was just an act. Then, the special HIV control medicine was brought out. The woman immediately offered $20 million. Others bid too, but she always raised the price higher. The secretary noticed and whispered to the man that maybe his ex-wife had gotten infected from sleeping around. Enraged, he went to confront her. He demanded to know why she wanted to buy that medicine. She ignored him, so he paid the highest price and bought it himself. Then he accused her again, asking if she had been unfaithful, if she was infected. He said that if she really were sick, he would give her the medicine himself. That accusation made the man completely lose control. In his rage, he smashed the only medicine that could stop the disease.